अनन्तरूपा अनन्तनामा आदिमूला नारायण अनन्तरूपा अनन्तनामा आदिमूला नारायण अनन्तशयना हे जगन्नाथ कमलनयना हे माधव अनन्तशयना हे जगन्नाथ कमलनयना हे माधव करुणासागर कालिङ्गनर्तन करुणासागर कालिङ्गनर्तन हे कृपा सिन्धो कृष्ण हे कृपा सिन्धो अनन्तरूप अनन्तनाम आदिमूला नारायण विश्वरूपा विश्वाधारा विश्वव्यापक नारायण विश्वरूपा विश्वाधारा विश्वव्यापक नारायण विश्वतैजस प्राज्ञस्वरूप हे दया सिन्धो कृष्ण हे दया सिन्धो अनन्तरूप अनन्तनाम आदिमूला नारायण अनन्तशयना हे जगन्नाथ कमलनयना हे माधव करुणासागर कालिङ्गनर्तन हे कृपा सिन्धो कृष्ण हे कृपा सिन्धो अनन्तरूप अनन्तनाम आदिमूला नारायण अनन्तरूप अनन्तनाम आदिमूला नारायण
सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. So for the next 7 days, we are going to take up this text called JÍVAN-SūTRÁNI, Tips for Happy Living. This text is an original composition of Pūjya Guruji Swami Tejomayananda. The name of the text is JÍVAN-SūTRÁNI. What do you mean by a sutra? Sutra means aphorism. Sutra. What is an aphorism? So in the book itself, you will find the definition in page number 6, those who have the book. Alpaksharam asandigdham saravat vishvato mukham astobham anavadyam cha sutram sutravido viduhu. What does it say? What is a sutra? So what all should be there in a sutra to be fit to be called a sutra? Sutra means aphorism. What is it? It should have alpa aksharam, a statement of truth which is declared with minimum words. Alpa aksharam, to the point, formula like. At the same time, it should be asandigdham, free from ambiguity, free from lack of clarity, free from confusion. Very clear it should be. Asandigdham. And then saravat, meaning meaningful. It should be meaningful. Saravat. At the same time, vishvato mukham, multifaceted. Multifaceted means what? Multifaceted means that term should bring into light all the possible standpoints regarding that issue. The same thing seen from different standpoints, from different angles. What all possible meanings can be suggested, everything should be present. Vishvato mukham. And then astobham. A sutra should be such that even one letter should not be there uselessly. There should not be any redundant letter or word. Superfluous word should not be present. Asandigdham. Meaning every letter should have a purpose, it should have a meaning, it should have importance. Astobham. And next one is anavadyam. It should be flawless with respect to grammar, with respect to alankara, etc., whatever. With respect to the meaning of the words or with respect to the meaning of the sentence, it should be flawless. If these 6 conditions are satisfied, what are they? Alpaksharam, asandigdham, saravat, vishvato mukham, astobham, anavadyam. 6 points. If these things are present, then it is called sutra. So now we have JÍVAN-SØTRÁNI. We have a set of sutras. We have around 76 sutras in this text. Now what are these sutras indicating? So the name of the text is JÍVAN-SØTRÁNI. It talks about Jīvana. Jīvana means life. Aphorisms on life. How to live a happy life. Right? Formulas for happy life. So this is the topic which we are going to discuss. Right. Now in this world, the whole universe, as we all know, they are governed by certain laws. Isn't it? In this world you find so many laws in operation. So what are the scientists doing? The whole science and technology in that field, what do the scientists do? They just observe the universe, study these laws, correct? Learn lessons, come up with certain formulas, and then apply these laws in such a way that they bless the humanity. That is what all the scientists do. Yes or no? Yes. So what is the first thing to be done? Observe the laws of the universe. For example, a person called Faraday, what did he observe? He observed that when a magnet is passed through an iron coil, moved to and fro, he found that electricity was passing through the coil, isn't it? That's the concept of electromagnetism. He found that the ammeter was deflecting. He found that the current was flowing through the coil. It was an observation that whenever there is a movement of magnet or the coil, there is a current which flows through the coil. And with this observation, slowly, the whole concept was developed. A thorough study was made. How much current can be produced with what power of magnet, all those relationships, they brought out a formula containing the relationship between the current and the movement and the power of the magnet, etc. And after a thorough analysis, they started generating current, isn't it? And now today, we have all over the world, we have this electricity. Almost every equipment in any household is functioning because of electricity, isn't it? In the same way, everything, whether it is laws of gravitation, thermodynamics, everything, this is what we have done. What have we done? Laws are there. Nobody has challenged those laws. Nobody has tried to change those laws. What they have done is they observed these laws, learned the right lessons, and then developed devices so that our life can become comfortable. Isn't it? In the same way, there are certain laws regarding happiness also. They are the laws regarding the inner world. Objective scientists, they observe the laws regarding the outer world, the universe. And what do the subjective scientists, the saints and the sages, what do? They look within. And what is their object of research? The subject is happiness. Because ultimately, what do we want in life? It is nothing but happiness. It is nothing but peace. This is what we are all looking for. So naturally, these scientists, these Rishi Munis, they started inquiring what is the source of happiness. How can we be happy? So they started analyzing life. They started observing life. Now what is life? Life is nothing but the individual interacting with the world with his equipments called body, mind, intellect, interacting with the world of objects, beings and situations in the three states called waking, dream and deep sleep. In the process of interaction, he goes through various kinds of experiences. So this is life. Yes or no? So what is life? Interacting with the world, using our equipments of body, mind, intellect, interacting with the world of things, beings and situations in our waking, dream and deep sleep. This is life. It presents various kinds of experiences. Those experiences can be bitter or better, good or bad, happy or painful. Isn't it? Various kinds of experiences. So then these Rishi Munis, they started thinking, now that we all want happiness, when they started observing life, they found that whenever good things happen in the world, we are happy. Whenever bad things, tragic things happen in the world, we are unhappy. So in the superficial analysis, it appeared as though happiness is not in our control. Happiness is decided by the external happenings. But then they started analyzing it further deeper. If happiness is governed by the outer world, then we are all slaves of the world. But is there a greater truth in it? So they started going deeper and deeper within themselves. And then they came up with a new finding, a new discovery. And what is the discovery? The discovery was that you can remain happy in spite of the tragic situations outside. You can remain happy throughout your life, irrespective of what kind of situations the world present to you. They found that your happiness depends very much on what kind of understanding you have about your life. Your happiness depends very much on what kind of thoughts pass through your mind. Your happiness depends very much on how you respond to the situations. They found that happiness is not decided by the world. Happiness is something which each and every one of us can command and control. This is the greatest finding. Because otherwise, superficially, people think happiness is decided by the outer successes and failures. But go deep and you will come to know that happiness is something which is our own nature. You can, through right means, be happy forever. You can attain infinite happiness for infinite period of time. It is possible. This is the greatest contribution of our rishis, munis, our saints and sages, the great spiritual masters. So what all they have studied, they recorded it, and those records are called scriptures. So what is the main purpose of all the scriptures? The purpose of scriptures is only one: know how to be happy. Learn this art of being happy. We are indeed grateful to all the masters because they have preserved this knowledge for us. Today it is there for us to study, learn, and be benefit from. In every field there has to be someone to guide us, isn't it? Not only in the case of happiness, in everything we need guidance. Recently I had gone to the airport some few years back, and I went to this bathroom. There was this tap and I was searching for the knob. I didn't find any knob. There was only one tap. I wanted to wash my hands and I started pushing and pulling, not knowing what to do, what to rotate, what to push, what to pull, what to slide. Then somebody came and said, "Swamiji, that is not the way. You just place your hands below, that is enough. There is a sensor there. Automatically water will come, automatically water will stop." Now see, that guidance was very much helpful at that time for me. I was searching for the knob, isn't it? For such a little thing also when guidance is necessary, what to talk of subtle things called happiness. In this world we will have so many such experiences. Guidance is necessary. And life becomes so easy when somebody guides you, isn't it? The knowledge of our ancestors helps us a lot. Suppose you want to walk through the forest. The person who has to walk through the forest for the first time, he will have the maximum trouble. But suppose the path is already laid, then the others, it becomes easy, isn't it? There is a way of doing things easily. In everything, there is a way in which things can be easily done, comfortably done, beautifully done. And there is a way in which the things can be messed up also. Right? When we were children, sometimes we were given the task of cutting the jackfruit. The smell, that aroma should be so strong. We would cut, and you know what happens after that. In our anxiety to eat that fruit, we cut the jackfruit and directly pounce on it. Then what happens? That sticky liquid, that white liquid, it won't just allow you to enjoy that jackfruit. At that time the mother comes and says, "My dear, you should have first applied the coconut oil, then you should have cut." Isn't it? That little piece of information, how much it helps us in that thing. Isn't it? When I was in Shimoga, the water used to be very muddy. So we used to get water but muddy water. Now what to do with this muddy water? Water is good, but it has mud. Mud floating. So then somebody came and said, Swamiji, do this, just take one piece of alum and then dissolve in it. Some powder you take and dissolve. And then use that water next day. Next day it will be clean. Now this was a new piece of information. And I did it, and yes. So what happens is, these alum particles, they stick to this dust particle, and that become heavy, and that heavy stuff comes down. So ultimately, after a few hours, you will find all the dust particles have settled at the bottom, and the pure water is available. They say in the villages, etc., they have another tree. One kataka nut is there, it seems. Bhagavan Shankaracharya makes this reference in Atma Bodha. Jalam kataka renuvat. So this powder is put, and then all the dust particles settle, and you can drink that water. It becomes so pure. Right. Somebody has to be there to guide. Otherwise, how will you move? In every field you will find. Some 20 years back in Hindu, there used to be one Saturday issue called Young World. I don't know, even now it may be there. 20 years back. So in that we found one. So at that time I was quite small. So they said, this is a 3D picture. And we saw that picture, it was no 3D. Nothing was making any sense. How can this be a 3D picture? Newspaper is a 2D newspaper. In a 2D newspaper, how can there be a 3-dimensional picture? They say it is a 3D picture. How to get that 3D? So the instruction was there. I hope anyone who remembered that. Every issue it used to come. So the instruction was given. See, you see 2 dots there? Make your eye squint in such a way that these 2 dots become 4. And then adjust the 2 central dots and make it 1. Then you will have 3 dots. With that setting of your eye, just watch this picture. So in the beginning it was an effort. And there was competition also. All children, we were all gathered together how to make that. Who will see the first? And the question is, what is present in this 3D image? It is not mentioned there. It is a puzzle which will be solved only in the next week. Next week only the answer will come. So we were competing with each other. Who will see that 3D image first? And then with that instruction, slowly, over a period of time, with practice, you could very clearly see a 3D image protruding out of the newspaper. It was such a joy, because a great thing as though has been invented. Isn't it? The whole point is, unless somebody guides us, how will we know the secrets of life? Right? There are so many things which are hidden, which are not known to us, and because of which we make a mess of our life. When such guidances are given, and when they are used, it becomes a blessing throughout our life. So now we will enter into this text. So let me give a brief introduction to this text. JÍVAN-SÚTRÁNI, tips for happy living. So here you will find solutions to various kinds of problems. How to handle yourself in this complicated world, with these complicated instruments called body, mind, intellect. How to handle yourself, how to set goals in life, how to be inspired, how to face challenges in life, what kind of attitude you must have while handling your relationships, while handling the inert things of the world. All these topics are dealt with. How to strengthen yourself, how to be bold, courageous, how to be successful, how to be single-pointed. Like this, so many topics are covered. And all of them have been covered in 7 chapters. So each day, let us try to complete 1 chapter. 7 days, 7 chapters. So today we will be taking the first chapter, And the name of the chapter is Take Charge. Yes, so I'll just chant the sutras. You can repeat after me. Atha जीवन-सूत्राणि प्रस्तूयन्ते यज्ञात्वा अभ्यस्य च जीवनं सुखाय भवति जीवने द्विविधं कार्यं प्राप्त परिस्थिति प्रतिकारः स्वभविष्य निर्माणं च तत्र अन्यस्य अन्येन जीवनं जीवितुं न शक्यते परस्परं साहाय्यं तु संभवति साहाय्यस्य स्वीकरणे प्रदाने वा अहंकारः न करणीयः जीवनं विनयेन एव शोभते तस्मात् स्वजीवनभारं स्वीकृत्य सर्वप्रयत्नेन तत्सफलीकुर्यात्. Yes, so we have seen 8 sutras. Now there is a book available also in the bookstall. Also we have the sheet in which Kannada and Sanskrit, everything is put together. So tomorrow you can get those sheets and then we can chant it together. Right. So we'll start with the first sutra. What does it say? Atha JīVAN-SūTRāNI prastūyante. Atha, now. Prastūyante is presented. What is presented? JīVAN-SūTRāNI. It's a very simple Sanskrit, anyone can understand. Pūjya Guruji Sanskrit is very, very simple. Bala Bodha, it is called. Even children can understand it. Very simple Sanskrit. Atha JīVAN-SūTRāNI prastūyante. Now is presented, what is presented? The aphorisms on life. Why should we study? Natural question. So the answer is given in the second sutra. Yat jnātva, knowing which, abhyasya cha, practicing which, jivanam sukhaya bhavati. Knowing which, practicing which, life becomes sukham. Sukham means what? Easy, comfortable, happy. That is why we are studying this. Knowing these aphorisms, life will become very easy. So here 2 things are given. What is it? Yat jnātva and abhyasya. Knowing alone will not do. What has to be done? Practice also is essential. In Vedanta, the knowing is done in 3 stages. What are the 3 stages of knowing? Shravanam, Mananam and Nididhyasanam. First you listen, you gain information. And after gaining information, knowledge is there, but it has got a lot of doubts. A lot of questions are there. Then what has to be done? The next thing is mananam. You have to think over it. Clear away all possible doubts. Make it doubtless knowledge. This is done through mananam. Shravanam, you gain knowledge. Mananam, you make it doubtless knowledge. So information becomes conviction. Yes, this is right. This has to be right. Is that alone enough? No. The third one is nididhyasanam. Put it into practice. Let it become one with you. Let it get dissolved in your personality. Let it get digested and become one with you. So what is the proof that a particular knowledge has become wisdom? What is the proof that information has led to transformation? The proof is, any situation comes, you act according to this newly available knowledge. Instantaneously, spontaneously, effortlessly, you respond to the situation in the light of the newly gained knowledge. This is the proof that nididhyasana has been completed. Right? Otherwise the knowledge will be mere knowledge. It will remain as an information. I read a very nice story. Two friends, they had gone for a camp. So in the night, they put up a tent and slept off. In the open, they put up a tent and slept off. In the middle of the night, one person got up. He called the next person. Hey, get up. Yes. Look up to the sky and tell me, what do you see? The other friend said, I am seeing millions of stars. And the first person said, what does it mean to you? What does it tell you? So this person said, astronomically speaking, it says there are millions and billions of planets and galaxies. Astrologically speaking, it says Saturn is in the Leo. Meteorologically speaking, it means tomorrow we are going to have a bright day. Time-wise speaking, it is around 2 a.m. Right? Spiritually speaking, this universe is infinite and we are little creatures. Okay, now you tell me, what does this mean to you? This person was silent for some time and they said, practically speaking, somebody has stolen our tent. Practically speaking, somebody has stolen our tent. Now that is a very practical thing. This person has lot of information. He is not able to apply it. You see the difference. So this should not happen with us. We are there to preach, give lectures to all about wisdom. But are we wise? We are otherwise. That should not happen. Right? So therefore, each term is important. Yet jnatva, that alone will not do. Abhyasya. Many times people say, especially people who attend satsang, etc. At home there is fight. And then the wife says, you attend so many satsangs, etc., but still you are like this only. Anger, greed, everything is there. What is the use of going there? And they blame the Swamijis. Spirituality should not merely be there for curiosity's sake or information's sake. It must transform us. So therefore, unless we put it into practice, our life will not change. Pūjya Gurudev used to give the example of putting sugar into coffee. Right? When the sugar has gone into coffee, coffee should become sweet. But suppose coffee is not sweet, what does it mean? The sugar has not dissolved, isn't it? When you stir it, when the sugar is dissolved, the proof that coffee, the sugar has dissolved in the coffee, the proof is sweetness. In the same way, what is the proof that the knowledge has become wisdom? The proof is our personality will remain sweet, irrespective of the external ups and downs in the world. Yat jnatva abhyasya cha jivanam sukhaya bhavati. Okay, in life, what is it that we have to do? So the third aphorism, Jīvane dvividham karyam. In life there are two things to be done. What is it? Number one, prapta paristhiti pratikaraha. Pratikaraha means responding, dealing with. What? Prapta paristhiti, the available situation. And the second one, swa bhavishya nirmanam, creating one's own future. So these are the two things. In life, what are we supposed to do? Handling the present situation, point number one, and point number two, creating one's own future. So what is called intelligent living? Intelligent living is a living where you are handling the present situation in such a way that you are inching towards your chosen goal. You are creating your future. They should be in line. It is something like cricket match. So the batsman is standing there, ball is coming. What is the goal? What he has to eye upon, the batsman? Number one, he has to see that he doesn't get out, isn't it? He has to prevent the ball from hitting the stumps. Point number one. Point number two, meaning he has to see that he is not out. And point number two, he has to hit the ball in such a way that he doesn't get caught. The ball doesn't get caught and he be out. At the same time, is that alone enough? No. He also should see that the scoreboard is going up, that he is scoring. There are some batsmen, they keep on defending. People get mad, wasting balls. Ultimately, they create a very tenseful situations. So batsman has two responsibility. Number one, he should not get out. Number two, he should also see to it that he is scoring runs, depending upon the number of balls and the score, etc. Right? Even while dealing with the present situation, you must have an eye on the future. Am I moving towards what I want to be? If this way you are leading, then indeed it's an intelligent living. So these are the two things, two imperatives. Dvividham karyam. Now the thing is, important question. Since this is life, situations have to be responded intelligently. We have to create our own future. These tips we have to know and we have to practice. A next important sutra. What is it? Sutra number 4. Tatra anyasya anyena jivanam jivitum na shakyate. Simple thing is, as far as this is concerned, living life is concerned, nobody can live somebody else's life. I have to live my own life. I cannot help someone, someone cannot help me in living my life. I cannot live somebody else's life. Anyasya jivanam jivitum na shakyate. For example, if I am hungry, who should eat? Somebody else's eating will not help. I only have to eat. Now, why this topic is taken up? This topic is taken up because there are very many fields where you need not know. For example, suppose you have to go from here to Delhi through flight. Do you need to learn how to fly an aircraft? You need not. You have to just sit in the aircraft, isn't it? Somebody knows it, he will take you. So without knowing how to fly an aircraft, you can make use of that knowledge. Suppose I want to eat food. I need not know how to cook. I can appoint one cook, he will do it for me. Isn't it? In life there are so many things where you need not know. Suppose you want to type something, get something printed. You need not know the typing. A typist will do it for you. Some work has to be done through the computer. You need not know the jargons and all complicated things of the computer. Somebody will be there who will do it for you. In the same way, can somebody else, can he live for you? Is the question. The thing is, nobody else can live your life. But next sutra says, Parasparam Sahayam tu Sambhavati. But yes, Paraspara Sahayam. Sahayam means helping each other. Yes, you can definitely take the help of others. That is possible. You can take the help of others, but nobody can live your life. You alone have to live your life. So therefore, take charge is the point. The teacher can show the path. He can show the light. See, this is the path you have to walk. This is the path you should not walk. But who has to walk? I myself, I have to walk, isn't it? This is the famous statement from Bhagavad Gita. Uddharet atmanatmanam na atmanam avasadhayet. Uddharet, lift yourself by yourself. This is a command given by Bhagavan Krishna to Arjuna. It's a very interesting thing because Arjuna was in a very despondent state, confused state, not ready to fight. What did Krishna do? Did Krishna say, Arjuna, don't worry, I am the Lord of the universe. Come here, show your head. I will touch you and everything will change. Nothing he did. Though he was Yogeshwara Krishna, what did Bhagavan do? Bhagavan just gave him knowledge. Isn't it? Nobody can help us. In the sense, nobody can live our life. They can help us by giving knowledge. That's the only help possible. Right understanding can be given, but who has to cultivate that right understanding? We ourselves, we have to do. Now see the whole thing. In Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna was confused. He said, I will not fight. In the end, what did he say? Bhagavan, confusion is gone. You just tell me what to do, I will do it. Did Bhagavan change the situation? No, situation remained the same. He had to fight the war and he did fight the war. Situation was the same. Then what did Bhagavan do? He just gave the right understanding about life. The whole situation was analyzed in a new perspective. A new perspective, a new vision was given. And with that vision, Arjuna's mind became cleared. He was fully enthusiastic to fight the war. This is exactly the purpose of knowledge. Knowledge will not change the situations. It will just change your state of mind, your attitude towards the world. Tatra anyasya annena jivanam jivitum na shakyate parasparam sahayam tu sambhavati. Yes, you can take the help of others. Gurudev used to give the example of this mountaineering. In the mountaineering institute, what can the instructor do? He can give instruction how to climb the mountain, how to take rest whenever you are tired, how to lift yourself, which are the muscles to be strengthened, what are the exercises to be done. Yes, all these things he can help. But who has to climb? Gurudev used to say, even the instructor himself is hanging. Isn't it? Now if you say, instructor, carry me also. Is it possible? Simply impossible. You have to lift. Suppose the room is dark. Outside sunlight is there, but the room is dark. And I am inside the room complaining this room is dark. Is there any use? What am I supposed to do? I should go and open the windows. Correct? Sunlight is there waiting. What I have to do is just open the window. Now, can sunlight come and open the window for you? It has to be done by yourself. So in my life, if there is darkness, confusion, hatred, jealousy, greed, etc., they are nothing but darkness only. If it is there, who is to be blamed? I myself. So who has to change? I myself. Nobody else can remove that darkness without my permission. There's a beautiful story. There's a beautiful painting. And the painting was Jesus Christ carrying a lamp and knocking a door. This is the painting. What is that? Jesus Christ carrying a lamp and knocking a door. So thousands were coming just to see this painting. Somebody found a mistake in it. He went to the painter and said, "Sir, you forgot one thing in your painting. Painting is excellent, but you forgot one thing." So he called the painter. "What is it?" "You forgot to put the handle for the door. Now that Jesus is knocking a door, definitely the door must have handle. You did not put the handle. I think you forgot." The painter said, "No, it's not a mistake. The handle is not outside, it is inside." You understood? Handle is inside. Means what? Who has to decide whether to open the door or not? The one who is inside. Jesus will be there with the lamp. Light is there, lamp is there. But who has to decide whether the light can enter within? The one who is inside, isn't it? The breeze, it will freshen up everything. But suppose you close all the windows, doors, that air within, it will never be pure, it will remain impure, isn't it? In the same way, we have to open the doors of our heart. Nobody else can help, we only have to decide. So in the first verse, it is said, "Atha," now. Now means what? Now means, now that you have decided to change. Now that you have accepted that I am imperfect, I have lot of imperfection, and there is a possibility of coming out of imperfection. Atha means, now that you have decided, now that you have understood, now that you are available for this knowledge. Right. Now, what is the important thing which we have to keep in mind in order to gain this knowledge? So here it is said, sutra number 6. Sahayyasa swikarane pradaneva ahankaraha na karaniyaha. No doubt, you will have to get help from others. There can be situation when you will have to help others. But the point to be kept in mind is, ahankaraha na karaniyaha. May there be no ego or arrogance while gaining the knowledge or while giving the knowledge. Therefore, sutra number 7, Jivanam vinayena eva shobhate. Life will become really beautiful only through vinaya. Vinaya means humility. While gaining knowledge, let there be no ego. Yes, when we come to know that there is a knowledgeable person, and when we know that yes, this person can help me, this person can guide me, there is one thing which will prevent us from seeking guidance from that person. What is that? It is our own ego. Many times our ego will not allow seeking guidance from others. So here the sutra says, ahankaraha na karaniyaha. Ever remain humble. Only the humble people in this world, they gain knowledge. Just like electricity flows from higher potential to lower potential, just like water flows from higher potential to lower potential, in the same way knowledge also flows from the higher to the lower. That is why in our tradition, how do we greet our teacher, Guru? We don't say hi, bye. We don't say good morning. That is also not the way. What is our way? We prostrate unto the feet of the teacher. Oh teacher, my head should remain at your feet level. See that? What a beautiful culture we have. Not good morning, good evening and all. Keeping our head, the highest part of the body, at the lowest part of our teacher. Then alone knowledge can move smoothly, effortlessly. Humility is pointed out in that. In our scriptures, there are 4 kinds of discussions pointed out. When 2 people come together and when they discuss, there are 4 types. One is called Vitandavada. The second is called Jalpa. The third is called Vada. And fourth is called Samvada. 4 types. What is first one? Vitandavada. Vitandavada means whatever you say, I am here to refute it. I don't have my own stand. What is my stand? Whatever you say, my job is to prove that it is wrong. Can you give an example? Politicians. I don't mind what you are going to say. I have already decided I am going to refute it and prove that you are wrong. Whatever it may be. Right? This is called Vitandavada. Now these are all expressions of ego. Strong ego. Now will such a person learn anything? His mind is always busy trying to find out arguments in order to prove that the other person is wrong. Will he learn anything? No. The second is called Jalpa. What is Jalpa? He has his own standpoint. Right? The other party also has his own standpoint. Now, his all effort is to prove that he alone is right and the other is wrong. In Vitandavada, this person has no standpoint of his own. Whereas in Jalpa, he has his own standpoint. And the whole argument is only to prove that I am right and you are wrong. This is called Jalpa. Will he learn anything? No. Again, it's an expression of ego, remember. In order to protect my ego, I try hard. I am not interested in knowledge. I am interested only in winning the argument. Now what is the third one? Vada. 2 people discuss, they argue. But here the goal is knowledge. They fight with each other. They argue with each other. No doubt. But what is important is knowledge. If I think that you are right, fine, I accept. I accept your state. Both of them are interested in knowledge. Therefore they go for discussion. Such a thing is called Vada. But now there is something higher than that. And that is called Samvada. Samvada means what? There is a teacher and there is a student. Student has high reverence for the teacher. Right? But there is a discussion. The discussion is only for this purpose. What is the purpose? The student says, "Oh Guru, whatever you are saying is right. I have no doubt about it. Though I have not understood. You must definitely be right. My understanding is wrong. Right? Please clear my doubt." So he is asking question not to prove that the teacher is wrong, but just to get clarification in that regard. This is called Samvada. So he is ever at the feet of the teacher. He is ever humble. Such a discussion, sometimes we call it dialogue. So in Bhagavad Gita, in the end, you will find Yoga Shastre Sri Krishnarjuna Samvade. There it is, Samvad. Bhagavan Krishna and Arjuna. It is not Jalpa, Vitandavada and all that. It is Samvad. So we will find Arjuna saying, "Bhagavan, I understand what you are saying, but I have such a doubt." Then Bhagavan clarifies it. Isn't it? So no doubt there is an urge to know, but along with that urge to know, there is a deep humility. So wherever this attitude is there, that humility and urge to know, definitely that person will gain knowledge. So in the first chapter itself, Pūjya Guruji is hinting that if you want to know, if you want to really benefit from this text, approach this text with all humility. Not to find fault with it. Even if fault is there, your eye should not go towards the fault. You should find out what is good in it. Whatever is good, let me take it, let me imbibe into my life. Right? The beauty of humility is, even if the teacher doesn't want to teach you, you will get knowledge. That is one of the beautiful laws of this universe. If you are really humble and if you have the urge to know, nobody can stop you. Even if your teacher doesn't want to teach you, you will get knowledge. And that's what we learned from which story? Ekalavya's story. Ekalavya, the Dronacharya, he refused. I will not. But what happened to him? Did he gain knowledge or not? He became better than his best student. Dronacharya's best student was Arjuna. Isn't it? So story goes thus. When Dronacharya refused to teach him, Ekalavya made a mud idol of Dronacharya, worshipped him daily, fell at his feet, and seeking his permission, he used to practice archery. And one day what happened? These Pandavas and Kauravas, they were hunting and they had sent a dog, a hunter dog. And it was barking heavily. So when Ekalavya was practicing, it was disturbing him very much. So in order to keep its mouth shut, he sent 6 arrows straight into the barking mouth of the dog. And this dog, terrified, it came back. Hunter dog. And when the Pandavas, especially when Arjuna saw it, he was stunned. It only means that there is somebody who is better than him. Then he goes to Dronacharya and says, Guru, what is this? You promised me that you will make me the world's best archer, and here is somebody who has proved that you can't do it. Then the story goes, taking Guru Dakshina as his thumb and all that. The point to be made here is, if you have the humility and if you have the urge to learn something, nobody can stop you. Our ancestors, how great they were. They calculated the distance between earth and the sun. Forget about earth being flat and all that. Everything they knew. That earth is round, that it is not the sun which is going around the earth, it is the earth which is going around the sun. The distance they calculated, you will be stunned. Without any of these modern equipments, technology, nothing was available for them. Even then, they could accurately measure all these things. In one of the commentaries of, I think, Rig Veda, Shayanacharya, he has written a bhashya. There it is mentioned, the speed of light is this much. And the modern scientists, they say, that must be true because we have made lot of assumptions. So therefore some error is possible. That is more accurate. Now just imagine how the secrets of this universe, how they knew without any of these complicated instruments. This is the law. With total reverence, with a surrender attitude, when you approach Mother Nature and say, oh Mother, I have this deep urge to know, please reveal your secrets to me. If this is your attitude, you will definitely gain knowledge, how much ever complicated it may be. If you read all these Puranas, etc., you will find every time an archer, he sends an arrow, he used to chant some mantra, remember God, and then he used to chant. He used to send the astra. And those astras used to be so powerful. It could even burn the entire world. Such astras they had. Brahmastra, etc. Descriptions are given. Such powerful weapons. And not that they maintain a stock of it, or no maintenance, nothing. They can pluck a grass and that grass can become that astra. That kind of power they had. So such secrets are there in the universe. You have not tapped it, that's all. So, in any field, if you want to learn something, the most important virtue is Vinayam. Vinayam means humility. That deep urge to know, plus coupled with humility, will definitely take you. Jivanam Vinayena eva shobhate. Tasmat, last one, Swajivana bharam swikritya. Having taken up the responsibility of your life upon oneself, taking charge of your life, sarva prayatnena, with all effort, tat safali kuryat. Put forth effort and attain what you want to attain. May you reach the goal and be successful. So this is just an introduction, taking charge of your life. pointing out that you are responsible for what is going to happen to you. Don't blame anyone, good or bad. Right? Second chapter we will see tomorrow. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayah Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukkha Bhag Bhavet Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.